Apologize, like Cory Booker
Apologize for what?
Cory Booker's called for it.
Cory should apologize. He knows better. There's not a racist bone in my body. I've been involved in civil rights my whole career.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
The world is different. There's too much unfinished business for us to just look backwards. We have to look to the future.
I know Joe. We know Joe. But most importantly, Joe knows us.
That's right.
And by the way, you know, I sit on...
You gotta say no Diddy after you say that. Somebody please tell Joe that he gotta say no Diddy when he say stuff like that. You gotta say no Diddy. You gotta say I mean no harm. You gotta say no pedo Peter. Something, man. You gotta say something to let us know that you don't like kids jumping on your lap. Brother, this is our president. This is the one. Whoo! Share this with a black person. Okay, and that's all I'm saying, man. Okay, we got more? We got more. What?
Even call centers, which rushed overseas in the hundreds of thousands. How many times you get the call? I'd like to talk to you about your credit card. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Wait a minute. Y'all heard that right? Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. So to all the poor people out there, just know this. If you stay in school, poor people, if you pay attention, stay out of trouble, you too could be just as good as a white kid.
Credit card. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. They're going to put you all back in chains.
We need, in my opinion, we don't need white people leading the Democratic Party right now. The Democratic Party is diverse, and it should be reflected as so in our leadership.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Why does this happen? I'm not going to do this.
I'm not going to do this, Chuck, I'm not going to do this because let me just be really clear. Vice President Biden absolutely has a respect level for all people around him, for voters across this country, young people, older voters, voters of color, black people, Latino voters, indigenous, Asian American, Pacific Islander. So I'm not going to even traffic in any hypothetical conversation about if he is sensitive enough. We need, in my opinion, we don't need white people leading the Democratic Party right now.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Let me tell y'all something. I must be a Caucasian because guess what? On June 17, 2024, at approximately 4:53 p.m., van.hall Sr. has declared himself to be a Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus because I ain't black, because I'm not voting for you, bro. I'm sorry. We have been teaching people how to grow online. It's been absolutely amazing. We have 3 people who have been able to reach monetization in less than 30 days. Growing YouTube channels, some from 0 people. We have one guy who had 2 subscribers before he started working with me. He started helping him. His views went up 4.8 million%. We're super excited. If anybody ever want to grow on YouTube, you reach out to me with the word coach. But I did vote for him before, so I realized I'm part of the problem.
I think Joe Biden might be suffering from that same white entitlement and privilege and ego, where he's just that old school white male who feels like, hey, man, they need me, I don't need them, or I got them already.
Joe Biden is under fire this evening on comments he made about working alongside segregationist senators in the past.
Biden recalling his early Senate career, bringing up 2 segregationist senators, Herman Talmadge and James Eastland, who called African Americans an inferior race. I was in a caucus with James O. Eastland, Biden said. He never called me boy, he always called me son. At least there was some civility. We got things done. We didn't agree on much of anything. We got things done.
I think the 2-party system, although my Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this, I think the 2-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black in the South. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their.
Hold on. So y'all mean to tell me, I'm talking to the black people out there, to the black people, just to the black people, okay? White people, feel free to put on your earmuffs. Y'all really gonna vote for this brother? Huh? I mean, listen, listen, people change over time. Who says that he still calls us the Negro and the black? The Negro and the black. I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro and good for the black in the South. So whoever the Negro is and whoever the black is, clearly they're not the same. That needs to be settled, all right? Clearly they're not the same people. He said the Negro and the black. All right, see, all right.
And other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind a little bit.
It's that old school white male.
That old school white male. The new integration plans being offered are really just a quota system to assure a certain number of blacks, Chicanos, or whatever in each school. That, to me, is the most racist concept you can come up with. What it says is, in order for your child with curly black hair, brown eyes, and dark skin to be able to learn anything, he needs to sit next to my blonde hair, blue-eyed son. Let me tell y'all something. When you go to vote for this brother, I want you to remember that he is saying this. He is saying this. Let me read this for you again, guys. The new integration plans being offered are really just a quota system to assure a certain number of blacks, Chicanos, or whatever in each school. That, to me, is the most racist concept you can come up with. What it says is in order for your child with curly black hair, brown eyes, and dark skin to be able to learn anything, he needs to sit next to my blonde hair, blue-eyed son, who then grows up, smokes a little bit of that crack in a hotel with a couple of, and while holding a gun. Yeah. We want to sit next to him in class. That's who we want to sit next to. Oh, let me tell y'all something. Go ahead and vote for this man. Go vote for this man.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
Wow, they booed him, and he looked at him and said, they're going to put y'all back in chains. Who are you talking to, Joe? Huh? Man, he said he's going to put y'all back in chains.
30 seconds or less. What kind of a chance would a northeastern liberal like Joe Biden stand in the South if you were running in Democratic primaries against Southerners like Mark Warner and John Edwards?
Better than anybody else. And you don't know my state. My state was a slave state. My state is a border state. My state is the 8th largest black population in the country. My state is anything from a northeast liberal state.
It's that
This dude is bragging about being from a slave state. If you know anything about my state is the slave state. We had more slaves than anybody. We was running slaves backwards and forth. I used to be a slave pimp. My uncle was a slave pimp. My father was a slave pimp. My granddad was slave pimp. My great-grandfather was slave pimp. My great-great-uncles were slave pimps. We was all slave pimps, eating lobster and shrimp, riding around on big wheels. Huh? I always had the big hats and the shiny suits. I always had the shiny suits and the shiny shoes to match the shiny suits. I was a pimp, pimping the black speak. Come on, bro. This dude is, I cannot believe, listen, I owe y'all an apology. I cannot believe I voted for this cat, man. This dude is a straight up pimp of black folk. And he always have been. He's extremely proud of being from the most racist state in the world. Come on, bro.
You don't know my state. My state was a slave state. My state is a border state.
How is your state? What makes your state a slave state? What, y'all get first pickings? What does that mean? They get first pickings?
My state is the 8th largest black population in the country. My state is anything from a northeast liberal state.
It's that old school white male.
Choosing Joe to be my vice president was one of the best decisions I ever made.
I can tell, brother, because even when he's the president, you get to be the president. You know what I'm talking about? Even when he gets stuck out there on stage and he don't know what to do, you get to go out there and grab him by the hand and say, come on this way, Joe. That's what you do. That just now happened when they was raising $30 million in front of all of their Hollywood friends. We just now saw it, but then, man, I don't want to make fun of this brother, man. I'm not this brother, but I'm talking about Joe because he's old as hell. He's old. He's literally old as hell, bro. And I don't know if he can finish out the next 4 months, but people want to vote him in office for the next 4 years. Please make that make sense.
Not the first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy.
Yeah, see how he feel about you. All right, so I do want to say this though, man. If somebody asks you, man, what you think about Van, and you like, Van is he's a mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and nice looking. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about it, but that's the first thing he could think about. He was just trying to pick something. I don't know. I don't even know the guy. I mean, Obama. Okay, let me think of something. He's clean. He's nice looking. He can read well. You know what I mean? He knows his ABCs. I tested him on that. I did test him on that. And if you want to be my friend, he must be black.
I mean, that's a storybook, man.
My son is Attorney General a year in Iraq, came back, and that's one of the things that he finds was most in need. When he was over there in Iraq for a year, people would come to him and talk about what was happening to them at home in terms of foreclosures, in terms of bad loans that were these Shylocks who took advantage of these women and men.
Hold on. So does the Jews know they are being referred to as this? Do they know? Because this is wild. This is what it says. Look, it says that he's referring to them as this. I don't want to say the word because I don't know what type of trouble is going to get me in at all. I never even heard that word a day in my life at all.
Shylocks who took advantage of these women and men.
Back from Mumbai to go meet with President Xi in China. I stopped in Singapore to meet with a guy named Lee Kuan Yew, who most foreign policy experts around the world say is the wisest man in the Orient.
He called an old Asian man the wisest man in the Orient. The wisest man in the Orient? Come on, man. How old school is this guy? You talking about old school. He's old school. Like when he go to the trunk, when he go pop the trunk, he ain't popping the trunk. If he beefing with somebody, he ain't popping the trunk for no gun. He ain't look for no gun. He popping the trunk for a whip. He's gonna pull that thing out of wham. That's what he do, bro. He called this man the wisest man in the Orient. Wow. This dude he's off his rocker. And this is before he started to lose his mind. No, listen, this is before he started to lose his mind, bruh. This is crazy. Oh my gracious, los pollos hermanos.
Experts around the world say is the wisest man in the Orient.
There's not a racist bone in my body.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Yeah. So let me tell y'all something. I must not be black. I am a Caucasian from the mountain of Caucasus. From here on out because I ain't voting for you, bruh. Sorry. Call me all the racist names you want to call me.